releasing them. They said we should release all the protestants, we've released them. They said we should set up a trust fund to pay compensation to the families of the ones that have died. I've set up my own trust fund. Today I've announced it. The third one, they said that we should set up like small inquiry for people that are bitter. So tomorrow at the governor's forum.
I said that in my
exactly. So he's coming, the IGP is coming to the governor's forum. So he's going to ask each one of us to set up like a 4-man or a 5-man team. And the final one is, they said we should increase the salary of the police. The IGP said he was working on that. Okay. And IGP said he's going to be working, to take some of them through some psychosocial treatment. Some, they are going to go to the first hospitals, they are going to clean them up and check them. The ones that can still be absorbed, they will. And so everything is working well. But I just want to present this formally to you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for working so hard.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen of the press, good afternoon. Just to report that I just had a brief meeting with Mr. President. It's indeed an honor that he has accorded me this afternoon to meet with him, even after the very important meeting with other governors. And the essence of the meeting is to pass on the clarion call of all our youths that are protesting in different parts of the country on the ENDSARS now. Mr. President graciously accepted the letter that was given to me by the youth to personally deliver to him. He graciously received the letter and we went through it very, very briefly. And we had explained to him all the things that we're doing. Earlier today, I've also met with the Inspector General of Police, who I also share the same sentiments regarding the various well thought out demands of our youth. And he had also assured me that even later today, they are making further pronouncement. Part of the takeaway for me is that all the governors are on the same page. We're having a governors forum meeting tomorrow. The IG will be briefing us at that meeting, and further clear directives and decisions will be taken by all the governors. I cannot begin to share what those decisions will be, but I can tell you, and on behalf of all of our youths that are out there, that Mr. President has listened. Your letter is documented, he has received attention, and he has assured me that all of the things that you have said there will see how they begin to implement them almost immediately. And like I did mention earlier today in Lagos, we had indeed pushed ahead to implement the first 2 and the third one, which I needed the approval, just so that we can put these things behind us. And like I've said, we're in partnership with the youth. We understand and we feel them. And they've spoken, and they've spoken very well. They've been heard loud and clear, nationally and internationally. And so I believe that it's been a just cause. It's been a cause that is worth fighting for. And they realize that indeed we have listened to them even as their leaders, and we've taken off the pieces, of all the lessons that we've all learned from it. And we're believing that not only will we see a better police reform, not only will we really begin to see a better relationship between the governed and the ones that are governed, but we'll begin to see, a better relationship with all spheres of governance going forward. Gentlemen of the press, I want to thank you very, very much for giving me this opportunity to report back and to say to our citizens and to our youth that the message you asked me to come and deliver to Mr. President, I have delivered the message, and I've also met with the IGP earlier today. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, like you said, but this is the first time that governors are taking this up. This is the first time that I'm aware that for the first time we are even joining in that kind of a crusade. Personally, I've been out not once, but 2 times within the last 24 to 48 hours. And in solidarity with them, in acknowledging first that their aims and their points are well taken, and their constitutional rights. So the first point is acceptance. We're not in denial. We're not in any form of coloring it. We accepted, all of the issues that have been said, all of the points that have been mentioned. And so this is actually very different from the others. There's a total acceptance, number one. And there's been a genuine effort to move that conversation forward. Certainly some are work in progress, right? I told Mr. President too that they want us to increase the salary of the police, and he did agree with me. But you and I know that will not happen today. You know, it's a budgetary process, it has a process, but everybody agrees and accepts that indeed it must happen. The IGP told me earlier today that some of also their request is that let us set up a psychosocial, analysis for most of them. There might be financial pressure, there might be domestic pressure, there might be environmental pressure that we do not know they have. He said that they will ensure that each one of them, go through that process. So these are real, engagements that we're seeing. And this is different from maybe the other things that has happened. They said to us to set up, a trust fund to be able to meet, pay some bit of, there's no compensation you can pay to a lost one, to a loved one, but just something to ameliorate that suffering, that pain. I had this morning make an announcement on that. That has never happened before, and I'm sure others that are also in my space will do the same. And I also explained to you that even the IGP is coming tomorrow to also address it. So these are very definitive steps that you're seeing that all of us are taking collectively, to ensure that we bring this to a final closure and we do not lose the lesson of what the youth have said to us clearly.
For the youth who will still insist on being on the streets until they can physically see these changes that are in the works, what message do you have for them?
Well, I mean, like I said, when you said physical, to increase the salary of the police, right, it will not happen tomorrow. So it's a process, So there's nothing physical you will see there, but you will see the conversation that says that indeed we all agree that they need more. We can do more. So that in itself is the tick off. The physical thing you want to see is the first thing they said is that we must release all the protestants that were arrested yesterday. Not one of them stayed beyond 3 hours or 4 hours in the station. We released all of them. Unconditional. We released all. That's physical. For us, that's physical. So that has happened. They said to me that they want us to have a fund to compensate the families that have been lost. We have set that up, physical. So in terms of physical, you are seeing those physical lines moving. And they themselves said that there's some that we know that will not happen today, will not happen tomorrow, right? Some will take, effect of time. And so all you gentlemen of the press also have the responsibility to populate the information and to say clearly that indeed their voices have been heard, their demands are genuine, they are real. It's really as a father, it's a real concern when indeed you realize that you don't even know your son that much, given what my own son had faced, what my daughter had asked me to do. Indeed, it was a clarion call for me, personally. And so it speaks to the sensibility of how did we get here, why did we miss it? And we're indeed grateful that they've been able to correct us and they've been able to indeed show that they are leaders of tomorrow. So for me, is to say that their voices have been heard, their grievances are real, and indeed we will begin to see a better tomorrow and a better relationship going forward. Thank you. Thank you.